Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now, do you remember a while ago I purchased 25 untested graphics cards from eBay, and the only thing working was probably the GTX 460, and even that I had to fix with a heat gun. Well, because that went so well, I decided to buy 22 more. This job lot cost me £99, and from what I saw in the photos it looks like we've got a slightly better selection. And having said that, all of the cards did look to be in one piece. Some of them before turned up in bits, and I didn't really make any money from that video in terms of trying to sell the cards on because there wasn't much to sell on. What I'm going to do with this box then is open it up, see what we've got inside. There was no actual listing description to speak of other than the fact that it said all of these had been pulled from working machines, and it should be assumed that the majority will be working, which is always a good start. So without further ado, let's crack into this package and see what we've got. I'm making a mistake by doing it like this. Sorry for any horrible noise you can pick up on the microphone. I'm going to cut this part and I'm going to open it, and then I'll be back in about 2 seconds. Okay, so here we are. The box of goodies has been opened. There's just a lot of bubble wrap here. Let me throw the scissors away for a second. Try not to throw them through the wall. Where better place to start than here? This is probably going to be quite a long video, so I'll cut it down where I can, but be prepared for a fairly long one. Our first card today comes in the form of a small form factor gigabyte GPU. Here we go. This is a... oh no, it's a 210. It's a GeForce 210. One of the worst cards in my opinion, but you know, it serves a purpose. It's basically a cheap video adapter, and it does that fairly well. I did notice that some of these cards were doubles, maybe triples in the pictures, so we might actually get more than one of these bad boys. So keep an eye out for that. Let's move on to our second card, number 2 of 22 coming up. Here we are. This one is an NVIDIA, well, it's a secret at the moment, you'll see in a minute. An NVIDIA Quadro P620. Mini DisplayPort connections there. Nothing else. We'll be testing all of these cards at the end of the video. We'll be plugging them into my AM4 motherboard at least and seeing if they actually output a picture before we test them in what is going to be a part 2, because otherwise this might run on for a while. This one's a bit chunkier, but I think we've got 2 wrapped together. I needed those scissors. I've thrown them away and now I can't get up because I've been blocked in by this box, and on the other side of me my dog's sleeping, and if I get up he's going to start barking for a treat because he thinks that sleeping should be rewarded with food for some reason. I mean, I understand that, but greedy little boy. This is not a very flattering angle, seeing my double chin. What has happened here? Okay, right, so this one, this is a bit dusty. This is an, it's an 8400 GS, pretty old card. It's got the low profile adapter on it. Obviously the VGA display port here is just hanging off because it hasn't got the high profile bracket on there. So yeah, that doesn't really matter. That's fine. Let's put that to the side. Also in this package was, oh, I think we've got another one. I think it's another 8400 GS. What is it? Yep, it is. It's an 8400 GS. Now, I'm glad so far that all of the cards we've unboxed are PCI Express. I don't have any AGP boards, so I won't be able to test all of these cards, or I won't be able to test some of them if there are any AGP ones. But from what I recall in the pictures, these are all PCI Express. On to the next. Another dangly adapter. This time we've got an Inno3D GeForce 210. Oh my, if this is a box of 210s and 8400 GSs, well, this isn't what I would call a successful haul, but there we go. What's it going to be? I can see this one. I can read it through the It's an 8400 GS. Okay, what we can do, I don't even need to unbox these ones, right? 8400 GS. We'll put that to the side. Ready? Right. Next one, dangly adapter. You can tell what this one is. Look. Oh, it's an Asus. Hang on. GeForce 210. We won't unbox every single little 8400 GS or 210. Okay, what I'm going to do, there's a bed there. My dog, I don't know how he's sleeping. Just checking he's breathing. He's breathing. Oh, something different. Something a bit different. Ladies and gentlemen, let's crack into this because we have something that you have not yet seen. You've seen it on the channel, you've not yet seen it come out of this box. It is a GT610 with a passive cooler, so that's a bit better than a 210. It's actually a country mile better than a 210. We've got an HDMI, DVI and VGA port on there as well. Not bad. That's probably the best card we've got out of this box so far. I'm running out of room to put these things. That will do. Oh, look at this one. I can see a little red fan, something from AMD here. A GeForce 210. A Gigabyte GeForce 210. We'll get that out of the way, then we'll unbox the AMD card. It's a Fire Pro 2270. I have had experiences with Fire Pro cards before. I'm not sure we've ever tested the 2270 512 megabyte GPU. Probably not going to be up to much in, what is that, like a DMS59 connector, do they call that? Yeah, probably not going to be up to much in 2022 like most of the cards we've plucked out of this box so far, but, you know, these are fun videos to make. I enjoy making them. And we've got 22 graphics cards. How many have we got left? I've lost count. Let's move on. Some of these are wrapped together, so it makes it easier in terms of peeling the bubble wrap off. Now, whoever packaged these, you've done a pretty good job. I'm happy with the packaging job, actually. They could have just been all chucked in the box with a layer of bubble wrap on the bottom and the top, but these have all been packaged individually or as doubles, which is nice to see. This one isn't, oh no, it's an HD 5450 from AMD. I like the little wraparound heatsink at the back there, pretty cool. This is a 1 GB version of the card. Again, pretty low end card, but one that still sells for £10 to £20, and if there's a few more of them, well, we can make our money back just on these alone, hopefully. And GeForce 210s, despite how bad you might think they are still popular for people who just want a graphics adapter or a display adapter, basically, for older and weaker systems, especially when they've got low profile brackets. This one doesn't, unfortunately, but it will still do someone a good turn inside an aging system. Oh, sorry, I've got another one down here already that was packaged with the 5450. It's another AMD card. Sorry, an ATI card. This one is, well, the cooler. Oh no, that's fine. It's only held on by two little prongs. I don't know what this one is. It says Cedar, so it's something from that lineup. Yeah, that one is a bit of a mystery at the moment. What's next in the box of mystery? Here we have, ooh, it's another GT610, this time another passively called 610 older Nvidia card. I don't think these are supported anymore because I don't think the 710s are, so there's no reason why this would be. Okay, so far we've got a few 5450s, or one 5450, a couple of GT610s, a handful of 8400 GSs, and a handful of 210s as well. So let's get a bit deeper in the box and pick out something bigger. This looks like an interesting one. This is an R7 250. A sapphire. Look how cool. That card looks so cool. It's tiny, look. Fits in the palm of my, well, abnormally large hand, so that doesn't really give you a sense of scale. But we've got an R7 250 from Sapphire, an AMD card. That's probably the best one we've unboxed so far. That might actually still be capable in some modern games. I think driver support did end in 2021 or 2020. for this lineup. But if it works, it works, and we should be able to actually play a few modern titles with this one. So, yeah, best one so far. So far, I say, because we've still got a few to go. This is another double package job here. We've got another HD 5450. This time an Asus passively cooled one. That looks strange. It looks like it should have the fan on there, but it doesn't. It's just got the Asus logo. At least we've got all the necessary ports there, always handy. This is another low profile card, Pegatron. Now you don't see those anymore. This is an old Pegatron card, which is yet to be identified. Look at this one, another bigger card. Hopefully this is something like a 750 Ti, because it's got that gigabyte cooler that I recognise from one of those. It could also be a GTX 560. I don't want to try and spoil anything, but those are my guesses. A 750 Ti or a 560. The 560 was like my dream card back in the day. I think when Dishonored came out, it was the suggested minimum requirement or the recommended requirement, and I saw how well it ran on some like IGN video or something. So I always wanted one, but I could never afford one. Oh, a GTX, oh that's good, GTX 650. Now hopefully this one will work, because this is probably the best card. Now this has overtaken the R7 250 for the top spot. The Gigabyte massive fan version as well. From what I remember, these run really cool and really quiet, so hopefully this one works, especially if it's been pulled out of a working machine. I don't have any doubt at the moment it should. It needs a dust like anything else, but we won't actually clean it up until I've tested it first. We'll just slot these straight in the computer in a minute and see if they run. I'm going to have to start putting things on the bubble wrap on the floor. It's a mess in here. Just a few left now. These are identical. Whatever is wrapped up here, well, they're two of the same. Guess what it is? If you said GT710, you'd be correct, because we have two more. MSI, this time. GT710s, almost said 210, it's not that bad. I quite like the 710, again, like the 210, they're just decent display adapters. Slot them in an old PC and you've got yourself something that can, well, display an image and run some really low-end or older games. We've actually run two of these in SLI. We did some sort of SLI hack using a certain program. Maybe I'll try that again, three-way SLI this time if that's possible. But yeah, two more 710s. The box is empty, apart from three more cards. Can we beat the GTX 650? So even if we sold all of these cards for like £10 each, if it averaged out at £10 each, because the 650 might be worth a little bit more, then we'd be getting 220 back, providing they all work and providing I actually get that much. So it's not bad, really. There's potential to double the money if all of these cards work, and we can have fun testing them in the meantime as well, which is the biggest reward. So we've got three cards bundled together. The first is an... Oh, they're all... Why is that one stuck? What's happened? Oh, I see. The fan has got stuck in the... Okay, this one is now part of the fan of this one. It's just spinning with it. I don't know. I don't know what's happened. Alright, so this one at the back is a 710, a large 710, and this one stuck to it is a... I don't know. I don't even... Oh, it's an 8400 GS, I think. So we've got a GT710 and 8400 GS stuck together in what can only be described as the visualization of someone's nightmare. For the last card, we have something very flat, another Asus passive cooler. This is a 5450. So basically, what we've got in this box, it's empty now. It's not a bad selection. These are cards that I would call sort of low end, ideal for someone who wants to put something together or add something to an older system just for the sake of displaying an image or running some really old games or lightweight titles. GTA 5 is probably going to run on a 5450 with lower quality settings. The 650 can certainly still run some modern titles, but the VRAM limitation is going to be problematic. But so far, so good. All we're left with now is an empty box, which in itself is handy because I can put something else in there to send it off after I've sold stuff on eBay, which is a nice bonus. I guess we should actually test these cards one by one and see if they actually work. All I'll do for now is just put them in the system, see if they fire up into Windows and display a picture, and then we'll have to test them another time, I think. So let's get into that now. So altogether we have one HD 4550, one HD 3450, one GTX 650, one R7 250, one Quadro P620, four 8400 GSs, three GT 710s, four GeForce 210s, two 610s, three 5450s, a FirePro 2270, and that is our 22 graphics cards. Now the only problem I had was with one 5450, the Asus one. This one didn't work at all. Nothing about it worked, it just didn't do anything. And this one, I can't test. The DMS59 connector, I don't have. This is the FirePro card. My main concerns with the Quadro, the 650 and the R7 250, those all worked, everything else worked. The R7 250 has a broken HDMI port, but the DVI and VGA work. So yeah, 22 cards, not bad. All of them except one work, and the R7 250 does work, but the HDMI port doesn't do anything. But that's not a massive deal. Not bad, 21 out of 22. So to finalise, I thought I'd put the best or one of the best cards through its paces here, just to give it a quick test. I couldn't end the video without testing anything. So the GTX 650, it's an OC 2GB edition, so the 2GB GDDR5 edition, one of the better 650s. Cyberpunk is one of the most demanding games I have on my PC that will actually run, and even so, 720p with ultra performance FSR is running with about 30 FPS. It looks like a blurry mess, but to be honest, I'm still quite impressed with this, and we'll have to wait until the next one before we can actually take a look at the performance of the rest of the cards and perhaps compare a few with each other. But for now, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let me know what you think of this box of graphics cards below, and hopefully I'll see all of you in the next one.